Casino Stadium Super Trucks getting set for race number 1 here on the streets of Adelaide at the Clipsal 500. Matt Nolte and Sean Cermony with you for this. An inversion from qualifying gives Bill Hines another pole position. He's doing double duties this weekend. Jeff Hoffman will start on the front row, Dontis and Greg Gardner on the next row, and we start to work our way to some of the real good guys towards the back, Sean Cermony.
All the way down the back, no surprise, seeing Sheldon Creed and Matty Brabham all the way back in row number 6 in the 11th and 12th.
Racing laps over in America before he came across and having to steer in an Aussie racing car with a guy called Sean Rowe.
Turn, they go through that S-turn into that hard left-hander and really let her eat up the street into turn 4 right there. You guys could not take each other out going through these first 2 or 3 turns there. And so far the last couple years, they've kind of pushed what's okay and what isn't. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go as they get ready to drop the green flag.
Old school kind of start here, no lines. It's all about waving the green flag. And the anticipation builds. That keen photographers down there waiting to grab the shot, and there it is, and we're underway. And Bill Hines, man oh man, plenty of Flurio milk inside him. He's out of here.
I guess so. Bill Hines checks out. Yanks a big start right off the bat behind him. Dontis, one of the World Purple drivers as well. So quick on board. Looks like we're on with Robbie Gordon right now. Behind him, we're looking at Sheldon Creed. Creed, the number 1, goes to the outside of the Gordon. Tire smoke off the dude, the Super Cheap Auto 67, smoke firing off those Toyo tires as they make it cleanly through 3 and 4. Now going into 5, everyone nice and
industrial equipment on the side of that truck this year. Down the inside now, side by side with Greg Gardner, putting the elbows up. The South Aussie means business.
Smiley getting in there, running in real deep. Greg Gardner looking very comfortable, very aggressive. Right off the bat, coming off of turn 7, jumping downhill off that Petters ramp. Huge hang time as there's a great shot of Matty Brabham, the 83, running it in deep on Robbie Gordon. Gordon lets him go to the inside. Gordon back to the inside now on him, switching back and forth. Great racing for these 2 superstars.
No one prepared to give an inch, and now he tries the outside move on Travis Milburn, the TRG Transport entry. Creed in front, typical peak hour down here at the roundabout. They sweep in behind the backside of this Adelaide Street Circuit on lap number 1.
Here they are now.
Right here, the South Australia Flycam chases the field at the end of lap number 1. I don't recall seeing a race where they're so stacked up like this.
No, this is great. I mean, they are right on top of one another, and I tell you, I couldn't be more impressed right now with the Flurio truck of Bill Hines. As Hoffman was told the drivers and everyone stay out of the marbles. Hoffman turned right through the center realm, never even went right or left, right up the middle. There may be a 10-second penalty assessed that. They were told if you bring out a loader to bring on the track, you might get a stop and go for 10 seconds. For truck racing here, so the young man, you can't take much from him right now. He's talented, he's young, and I guarantee he's very excited. So mistakes are going to happen.
So Dontis with a 5-second advantage. It means 0 at this earlier juncture where the competition caution plays a big part. Down Bartels Road, or Brock Straight as it's known as here at this Adelaide Street Circuit, down into treacherous turn 8. Toby Price is in the mix. Paul Morris looking a lot better than what he did yesterday in practice and qualifying.
Looking right there, we got Davis, Price, and Creed almost going 3 wide. They're trying to outbreak one another. Creed to the inside, can he make it sick? He slows down a little by using Price. Looks like Harlan comes in. He swaps a little paint as well.
That corner down there claimed a few trucks last year. As we watch the field come around the backside, great shot across the ramp. Behind the back of the pits here at Adelaide, here's Hoffman to the top. He's running second, but 6 seconds behind Dontis. It's Morris next. Greg Gardner in the R&J Batteries truck is next, and then the rest of the field start to stack up with Eric Davis, the man from Burbank in California.
Wow, this is wild. Dontis checking out on the pack, looking really good, but you can't take away right now from Morris. And it looks like we got a stop and go from Hoffman. He did get that penalty assessed, so he had to pull up the side. That's a real bummer. What a great race that young man was putting in right there. So we got this rest of us to go. We got a mandatory competition caution after lap 4, then 3 laps to the end. So he still has an opportunity to run really well here. Now it's time to just back it down and play it smart.
And much different to what we do in Australian motor racing, where the truck would have to come down the lane. They pull into what's a penalty box here. So look at the replay as the
Toby
McDonald's sheds his skin. To Toby Price's truck. So it's just stretched a little bit here now. Greg Gardner is now Price misses the ramp at the top there. He did that yesterday in the practice session too. And they will keep an eye on that one.
Well, the thing is, you know, if they miss a ramp for safety, if he had tried to make that and only hit it with 2 wheels, it would have flipped him off into the grass. So he didn't gain any ground. He didn't gain a position. So
he picked up a couple of race wins, and who will ever forget that race we saw at the Gold Coast last year in race number 3.
The Gold Coast last year, Toronto last year. I mean, and we saw that last year with Matt Mingay off that same ramp. So smart decision by Toby Price.
And not much time to make that decision either through that fast sweeper to the top. Meantime, it's clear air for Dantas at the moment, 5 or 6 seconds.
Number 1, as they head down over the Adelaide Casino ramp into the Toyo Tires towards the start-finish line. I would imagine we should be seeing a mandatory competition caution coming out quite soon here. And packing the back up. I believe that is Harlan right there. You see his royal purple hood peeled up a little bit. Harlan learning a lesson that a lot of these drivers that have been in the series for a while is you bump this bumper, you shove that bumper back up. The bumper mounts are made of aluminum. They're made to crush and fall away. So that what happens is that that bumper gets pushed up that you can't see the rest of the race.
So Robbie Gordon has dropped down our time sheets here. This is 2nd and 3rd. Sheldon Creed applying maximum pressure to the super cheap auto entry. Craig Dantas continues to lead here. Back to this great battle between 2nd and 3rd on the streets of Adelaide in race 1 of the Adelaide Casino Stadium Super Trucks. Here tonight.
There you go.
Rap band here in Australia. They're just warming up the act here right now. Through the left-hander he goes. Really proud of his efforts considering the injury he has right now.
Absolutely. Like we said yesterday, man, you look up macho in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of Toby Price. And he's had, I'm surprised, we're on lap 5 right now is what we're seeing, 5 of 8, but yet we haven't seen a competition caution. And there it is now, it's out. Came in a little bit late right there, but the competition caution's now out.
So the competition caution is out here, and that's bad news for Craig Dantas. He knew that was coming anyway.
Yeah.
But he will now be the man now chase. Here's the replay of Eric Davis, always evolving and rotating his way around down the bottom here.
Yes, he was coming in a little too hot. Gets on the binders real heavy right there. You see the smoke coming off those Toyo tires. Eric Davis, as we have mentioned in the past, you know, this is his first time in the truck since Townsville of last year. So it's been a long stint since he's been in a stadium super truck here. Excellent driver, and we're going to see him better as the weekend goes on. But right now, for the first race thus far for this year, having a little bit of trouble there. But that's going to come around for him as we see him. There's another angle right there, almost off in the kitty litter as he was yesterday. So I think it's a matter of, hey, he's got to get that particular turn tuned up a little bit, and he's going to have a better result throughout the weekend.
So if you've never seen the Stadium Super Trucks before, this is mandatory. The competition caution comes out to compress the field and give us a second half screamer, if I can use that word. And can Craig Dantas hold on? He does a lot of work behind the scenes here at the Clipsal 500. It's a chance now in front of the home crowd.
I tell you, hold on or not, you can't take anything away from Dantas right now. What an excellent effort he's put in so far.
So Dantas just cruising down the straight here right now with the field stacking up. Morris behind him, Creed is ahead, Price, Milburn and Gardner. Travis Milburn, you can see the black TRG transport truck in the middle. A last-minute call-up for the South Australian because Matt Mingay, his plans of coming racing this weekend didn't eventuate in the end, and Trav just walked.
Some type of mechanical issue going on right now as we're still under this comp caution.
So coming back to the restart, the field is stacked up once again, and South Australian Craig Dantas is leading in the Shannon's Insurance entry. Looking back at Paul Morris. While that was happening, Creed has dropped towards the back with Robbie Gordon.
I'm wondering, you know, very well, this gave Jason Smith with USAC and the CAMS guys time to look at all the different views. We very well might have got a penalty on Creed. He might have dropped back. Maybe he doesn't have a mechanical issue. Maybe he's getting the penalty and had to move all the way back. And you're not going to get a stop and go on this lap. So maybe he got pushed all the way back. So that's good news for Dantas, Morris, Price, and Brabham, but not for Sheldon Creed right now. It's his Speed Energy Toyo Tires truck gets pushed all the way to the back. Meanwhile, Dantas out front, Paul the Dude Morris, and P2, Toby Price, and Brabham round out the top 4 as they dive hard into turn number 3.
Look at Price attacking the back of the super cheap auto entry. We have the makings here of a new race winner coming through because none of these guys in the top 4 have ever won here. It's always been about Creed at this track in the past couple of years, but Dantas would probably want to tilt the mirror down and not look back right about now.
Absolutely. You don't want to see Paul Morris behind you right there. Paul is a great guy, but he's an aggressive driver, and he will do what he needs to do to put himself, up on top of the box. Right now, sitting in second place, the podium is not good enough for the super cheap auto driver right now. He wants to be on top of that box, and if he has to get aggressive with Dantas, he's going to do that.
Down to turn 8 they come. Price, Brabham, Milburn doing a great job. And there's Harlian shedding his skin now as well. The Royal Purple Racing Oils entry at the back of the field, and now Morris.
We just got word from Race Control that Creed did get a penalty assessed for going through the pebbles. So that's why he dropped back. The other guy to keep an eye on is Matty Brabham. We're watching it right now. Brabham moved up into P3 right now from all the way back starting 12th. So a lot of moves, a lot of passes for him thus far. We're on lap 7 of 8. So let's see for him to move up and chase for the lead.
And some passing points, which are vital in the championship.
Negative 2 for 1, going back from the lead back into third place right now. Brabham on the outside, still applying some pressure. Dantas to the inside of Brabham. Was he able to make that stick? He's not in the right line right there. Dantas back to P3. Right now, Paul the Dude Morris, he moves up into first place. Brabham in P2, Dantas in P3. Wild race coming down to the finish.
If you remember race 1 last year, Paul Morris almost got the win. It was a truck length at the finish between he and Sheldon Creed. Nothing but clear air ahead, and now we've got a truck on its side in Flinders Street.
It looks like one of the Royal Purple trucks. It is Gavin Harlan, the 55 Royal Purple entry. He is on his side, but he's in there strapped in. Looks like he's all right.
And they've red flagged the race.
Red flagged the race. You don't see that very often with a truck. Maybe there's more to it than just that one particular truck. As we see.
Oh, it's Eric Davis side by side. Got his teammate on the way out as well.
Eric Davis got into him right there and hit it pretty hard, but that is a tire wall. I still am surprised to see a red flag. You don't see that, especially on the last lap of an amazing race of Stadium Super Trucks when you have a driver just up on its side right now. So that's an absolute upset for all the fans to have a red flag thrown right there.
I would have thought with that happening past the start-finish line, that would have been okay.
That should have been a caution. But you know what? I'm not in race control, and it's probably a good thing because we'd still be racing right now.
Just lock the door anyway.
Yeah, just lock the door behind me.
That's the incident scene, turn 5. That's Flinders Street here through the staircase section of the Adelaide Street Circuit. The man from Arizona jumps out of truck 55.
There's a shot of race control as they go into a full course red. So not the escalated finish that we are used to and we're expecting to see here at Stadium Super Trucks. You see Dantas right there giving some of the other drivers a thumbs up. I know Matty Brabham's not going to be happy with that as well, as he was charging hard to the front. Whether or not he had enough to get around Paul Morris, nobody will ever know. But great run from Morris coming up from mid-pack, Brabham coming all the way back from 12th, and Creed going from 11th all the way up into second place, getting a penalty, dropping all the way back to 12th again, and now moved back up into 6th place in a lap and a half. So passing 6 cars in a lap and a half, that's pretty impressive. But now having this red flag thrown instead of just a caution, a local caution in that area, and racing to the checkered is a definite negative. So that's an absolute bummer to the fans out there and to all the drivers.
So Dantas has been declared the winner. We're going back to the last completed lap here. So a breakthrough win. It'll be a bit of an empty win for him, but he'll take it nonetheless. The Shannon's Insurance team. And he's got the win here on the streets of Adelaide. Well done to the South Aussie. Well, not the way we expected that race to finish.
No, not the way, but yeah, you know what, W is a W, and Dantas is on top of the podium. You can't, as you said, it's not like he's undeserving of that. I mean, look at how he ran the first 5 laps. I mean, Dantas was on the gas. So right now, I believe that is off the back of Dantas's truck right there. You see Creed, a lot of great passing, a lot of good racing, and a lot of smart stuff. Not too many big, crazy mistakes. Eric Davis got into Harlan pretty hard, so, that was a bummer. But, that it does happen at times. Right there, you see Harlan, he gets into Toby Price a little bit of body damage, no big deal. Toby Price sheds his skin there on the front stretch, and Davis making a mistake, Harlan getting through clean, and there you see on board with Dantas. Paul the Dude Morris just gets by him. Brabham squeezes the inside as well. Moves Dantas back to P3.
this is the moment to point out the red flag for Gavin Harlian, who, there he is. He's only a short man, thumbs up. And there is your official results, going one lap shorter. Craig Dontis ahead of Paul Morris, Matt Brabham in third place, and Price, Milburn,